All right, everybody, welcome to our Stay True team call. It is October 29th, 2015, and I appreciate everyone that made the effort and got on the call tonight. I really do appreciate that. We were talking about that earlier today, how it does just help us out and encourage us when we see you guys plugging in, so we appreciate that. But tonight, I'm going to start off with some recognition here. We had our Success Club points, or not Success Club points yet, that's next week's call, but we had some people, a lot of people actually get some good team volume points this past week. So I'm going to run through the list of that. We had, at the top of the list, we had Glenn Akins with 750 points, Beth Akins, 710 volume points, Dan Barry, 660 points, Tina Sparks, 375, Moppy Byler, 307, Stephanie Barner, 300, Courtney Miller, 245, Lisa Schaff, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, 210, Laura Antonucci, 195, Gretchen Namath, 180, Morgan Hayes, 180, Debbie Cutright, 180, Mark Lodato, 175, Crystal, 157, Jessica Schrock, 145, Heather Lettermoser, 145, Heather Haydu, 120, Linda Harold, 120, Kathy Lettner, 115, Scott Francisco, my brother-in-law, he had 105 points, Jen Novak had 105 points, and Chris Byler, 105 points, and Cody Cutright, 100 points.
Awesome. That's a lot of people.
That is a lot of people, and I'm going to post that later, and you'll see that I just about had to make the font so small, and I was running out of room, which I love. I love seeing that. So congrats to everybody for a very good week. And for those of you that didn't make the list, again, I always tell you guys this to encourage you that you make the list when you get 100 points or more personal volume points each week. So that's when you get your name on the little list there and get recognition. So again, congratulations to everyone that made that. And so tonight, we wanted you to bring your calendars or your mindset of scheduling to the table for tonight's call. We're going to talk a little bit about focus, because I feel like going into the holidays, going into November, December, we need to keep that focus in tune. And so tonight we're going to watch a video. Now the video is a guy who Beth and I had the opportunity to hear him speak last week at the Strategy and Execution Summit. And he runs a company that basically helps people focus their attention on a customer relations management system called Infusionsoft. So you're going to hear him talk about a program or a company called Infusionsoft. You can kind of disregard that. That's not the key point. The key message that I want you to take away from this is going to be more or less his strategy as far as focusing. And he has 6 laws in order to execute that he applies. He was telling us after his presentation, I actually had a chance to talk to him in the hallway, and he was telling us about how he executes or applies these 6 laws of execution even in his family life. He was going through saying that even his kids, they have a checklist before they go to school. Boom, 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 boom. And it's a process. It basically bridges a gap. So if getting to school is over here on this cliff and waking up in the morning is here, he basically takes people through the process of building a bridge to connect those two, to spread the gap. And it's it was very intriguing, a very good presentation. So let me go ahead and I'm going to screen share.
How long is it?
I think the recording, it's under 10 minutes. It's like 6 minutes, 6 or 7 minutes, I believe. So give me 1 second here. Okay. Oh, I got a screen share. I didn't screen share yet. Sorry, people. I was leaving you behind.
Where is everyone? We're not going to be able to see if they give us a thumbs up.
All right. So
Where did he go? Oh, there he is.
All right. Can you guys see me? See us? Okay. You can see the screen too? Okay. Let's see.
So 6 laws of small business success.
Can you guys
and then
hear
this
that
quote
okay?
I love. When you walk into a classroom, you have 2 options. And this is kind of the foundation of the 6 laws, right? So one is to teach, and the other is to recruit everyone in that classroom to join the pursuit of truth. And I want to draw special attention to this last phrase, which is to join the pursuit of truth. I believe that our ability to be successful in any aspect of our life, business, personal, whatever, is based on our ability to pursue, acquire, and be willing to live according to truth, true principles. Now, this is not a religious sermon. This is just fundamental truth. You'll see as we go through the 6 laws of small business success that they all do one thing. They help us stop pretending. Because when we get stuck, it's because we're pretending. So I looked up the definition of the word pretend. Okay, here's what it says. To speak or act so as to make it appear as if something is the case when in fact it's not. Now, quick question. When you hear the word pretend, who do you think of? Kids, right? We all pretended when we were kids, right? So now here's the thing. It's interesting because that's what everybody thinks of as kids. They're the ones that are most likely to pretend, and they do it on purpose. Now, just want to point out that nowhere in this definition of pretend does it say anything about whether or not you're doing it on purpose. It just says whether or not you're speaking and acting so as to make it appear as if something is the case when in fact it's not. It can be conscious or it can be subconscious, but you're still pretending. So I think this is critical because our ability to be successful in our business, in our marketing, in our client fulfillment is our ability to catch ourselves when we start to pretend. Infusionsoft's hard. Is it really? Or are we pretending? Are we speaking and acting so as to make it appear as if it's hard when in fact that's not the case? I just can't get enough leads. Really? Why not? It's too hard. Oh, is it really? Or could it be that we're pretending? That we're speaking and acting so as to justify our situation as opposed to figuring out what the actual truth is. That's why I say it's about the pursuit of truth. It's about the pursuit of getting really clear with the way that the world actually works and being less interested in the way that we want it to work. Okay, so we dive in, you'll notice that this is the underlying principle underneath all the 6 laws. So anybody in here ever have a good idea? Anyone? Somebody's got to have. You got to play with me a little bit. I know we're getting going. All right, everybody's had a good idea. Okay, I was going to say, well, in that case, maybe we need to start back somewhere else. All right. So I don't know if you guys have ever been there, but like go to a conference, mastermind, you have this idea, groundbreaking, revolutionary, it is going to change your business. You get excited. You call the staff, you call the company, whatever, or you're just talking to yourself, you call the staff, you're like, listen, I have this idea, it is going to change our business, it's going to be revolutionary, and we're going to finish it. We're doing it this weekend, Thursday, Friday. We're not leaving the office until it's done. I'm going to order in pizza, we're getting some caffeine in this joint, and we're going to make this crap happen. And we are not leaving. Right? Then you start getting into the late hours, right? So clearly it's happened up here in the startup world because we're getting the last, right? So you start getting in, and it may not be that you stay late, but you're like, I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to block out 3 hours no matter what this thing's happening. And then it all falls apart. Ever had that happen before? Anyone? Okay, so I found a video that for me perfectly captures the emotional roller coaster of this, trying to take ideas and getting them implemented. And the guy's swearing in German, which is why I don't. He's in English. Anyway, he's swearing, so I don't have audio. We got a couple of slow-mo clips here. Thinking he might have been walking with a limp the next day. One more, all the way through. Right, so check it out, right? So we've been through this before. I have an idea, and it is going to change my business. This is groundbreaking and revolutionary. I am all in. We are not leaving the office until this is done. Pizza, caffeine, we got this hammered, and then it all falls apart, right? So the question is why? So why do we struggle to implement? These 6 kind of laws of small business success, they apply to implementation as well. And as we go through these, I guarantee you if you're struggling to get something done and implemented, it's because you're violating one of these laws. So if you follow them, and I include myself, because sometimes I'm like, oh, I put this presentation together. I can kind of shortcut here. No, it doesn't work. If you follow these, life's easier. If you don't, it's harder, period. Law number 1, always wear glasses. Okay, we've got glasses here. Anybody else? We got glasses here. She's putting his glasses on. Okay, glasses. Anybody else wear contacts, right? What happens if you don't have your glasses on? Why is it not good? Things are fuzzy. Things are blurry, right? So if I put my glasses on, I've got clear focus. When I don't have it, everything's blurry. Now, My dad, when we were growing up, again, I'm the sixth of 10 kids. And my dad had this phrase that he used to say all the time. This is my mom, my dad. He had a phrase that he would say all the time that drove me nuts. I don't know if you guys had parents that like had their catchphrases. Like he could say it and my eyes would roll on demand. Like Pavlov would have been super impressed, right? So I mean, and this was before any family activity he'd asked us. So literally, we're going to see Aladdin at the movie theater when it came out. Okay, just background. Big deal. Family of 10 kids, when you go to the movie theater, that's a big deal, right? So we get into the Suburban illegally, I might add, back in the too many kids for the Suburban. We pile into the car. We're all getting ready to go. We're going to go see Aladdin. We're going to the movie theater. We know we're not going to get popcorn because they're like hiding the candy in the bags or whatever. So we get in there. He turns around and I can see this in my mind's eye. We're in the driveway. We're about to back out. He turns around, puts his arm up on the seat. He's like, all right, so what do we want to have happen here? I'm like, old man, what are you saying? I do not understand I do not understand this, right? So it wasn't until I got older, had some kids, started a business, failed and lost all my money, that I really started to understand the power of this question. Because if you'll notice, it does not say, what do we want to do here? It says, what do we want to have happen here? Reminds me of, I don't know if you guys have seen Alice in Wonderland, but it reminds me when Alice walks up to the Cheshire Cat and says, where should I go from here? And he says, oh, well, it just depends on where you want to get to. Key, where you want to get to. And she says, oh, well, I don't really care. And he says, well, then it doesn't really matter which way you go. And she says, well, as long as I get somewhere. And he says, oh, you're sure to do that, as long as you keep walking. So I believe that what happens is most of us don't set goals, but we think we do, right? We're pretending. We pretend that we set goals, but in reality, what we do is we set things that I call our directions. A goal, or let me talk about a direction first. So a direction is when we say, I want to lose more weight. I want to make more money. I'd like to have more time off. I'd like to have more vacations. We like to pass those off in our mind as goals, when in reality, those are directions. We're pretending. A goal answers the question, how much weight do you want to lose? How much money do you want to make? How many vacations and which vacations do you want to take? So the first key with this idea of always wear glasses is you have to get crystal clear on what you're actually trying to make happen. And we have a tendency to stop literally like inches short of that because it's a hard decision to make. Now, what I've found is there's a formula for power. Starts with passion. So I'm assuming that you have a level of passion with you and your employees about your business and what you're doing. But where you get to power is when you add focus. So passion plus focus equals power. I believe that focus is a universal law. If you look at the sun, right, the sun keeps the entire earth warm, but nothing spontaneously combusts into fire. But when you take a magnifying glass and you focus the power of the sun, you can turn crap on fire. Passion plus focus equals power. So you can be as passionate as you want, but until you can get down to this focus, down to where you have goals, not directions, that's when you really start tapping into power. I wish I could like capture it enough of the power that we have internally when we get everybody focused on one thing. It is insane. So law number one, always wear glasses. The more focused the target, the greater your chances of hitting it. And what you'll find when we get into this first section right after this morning is that the fundamental reason why most people struggle with Infusionsoft is because they don't know what they're trying to do.
All right, guys. So let me stop sharing here. So basically, when I hear that, and it's not, instead of struggle with Infusionsoft, you can plug it into anything that's related to Beachbody. Struggle with inviting to challenge groups. Struggle with getting new people to sign up as coaches. Struggle with selling challenge packs. Whatever it is, it's like, okay, so, where's our focus? And I love his idea of pretending, because I think that's what happens a lot of time. We all have a bunch of passion, and we all have the passion to help people, to want to help people, but there's so many different ways of doing it, and we hear so many different ways that other people do it that, everything becomes fuzzy and blurry. And we don't know exactly which path to go down, which path to attack. We have a bunch of direction and different directions that we can go. And, I always just think of he talks about the cat in Alice in Wonderland, but I think about Wizard of Oz and Scarecrow, when Dorothy finds the Scarecrow and, he goes this way or that, and the goal is you need to say, okay, I love how he described the difference there, because I really never thought about it in the way that he mentioned it. Like, here's a direction and you could go any direction, but what's your goal? What's the specific answer to the question? He said, how much weight do you want to lose? Well, how many people do you want to help this month? How many people do you want to help next month? Okay, that's great. You want to help 5 people? Then how many people have you invited to a challenge group? 2? Okay, so how are you going to help 5 people if you've only invited 2 people? You see what I'm saying? So I think that we really need to think about what we're doing, what we're trying to achieve. In fact, Beth and I did this the other day after watching the first 2 laws that Brad sent, in his email. But basically, we went downstairs and it was regarding what were we looking into? It's still down there on the board.
It was the coach sneak peek.
Right. Okay. So we were talking about the coach sneak peek, and we were talking about, okay, we know we want to restructure it, but why? Or what do we want to do with it? What are we trying to get to? What are we trying to accomplish? And we're trying to accomplish the fact that we want to expose more people to the coach sneak peek, right? So that's what we want to do. So then we went down and we just figured out, okay, here's how we're going to do it. And then what was awesome is coming away from that, we had action items, because we looked at the list of different things, the different steps that we need to do in order to accomplish that. And all of a sudden we had a list of action items that were specific to accomplishing that goal of getting the coach sneak peeks from a 1 week long or a 5 day long version down to a 30-minute webinar essentially. So it works. And he shows many examples throughout his live presentation, and he gives so many examples of how that works. So basically we wanted to look at that and talk about focus and what is it that you want to accomplish in in November. And so that's why Beth wanted you to bring your, calendars or the calendar mindset, your planning mindset to the table. Did you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I was just going to give an example of my own calendar for November. I know you guys can't see this because it's written down, but it's not on a screen like all of Glenn's stuff. It's on this cute little calendar.
Right, that they can't share and see. So, yeah.
But we have the calendar in Stay True. Just, you can use it as an idea, but I would encourage you, look at the whole month and figure out what's going to work for you. So I personally I have a group starting on Monday, and then I'm going to just keep inviting and keep posting about a challenge group to try to start my second group this month on the 9th. And I'm doing that because I think it's going to be hard to get people to commit to a group like the week of Thanksgiving or the week before Thanksgiving. So you can push to start one. I would say if you don't do it for the 9th, then maybe start it for the 30th or push for one for December 1st. Now December 1st is a Tuesday, but just look at what is going to work for you. And then when you have it on a calendar, you can decide, okay, when do I need to start inviting? And we're going to have a coach sneak peek call next Thursday night at 8:00. And that's the half-hour webinar that we did the other day. Did you post that?
I did not. No,
okay.
The recording, no.
So it took about a half hour. We went through the call and recorded it. Just as a practice. And then we're going to have that Thursday night, November 5th at 8:00. And then we're going to have another half an hour sneak peek call Wednesday, November 11th at noon. So we're going to try to do a couple this month and do one in the evening, one in the daytime, and just see the response that we get. So personally, my push is to sign more coaches. So what was she asking? Oh.
Yes, yeah, I'm going to put all that on. I'm going to update the calendar, Moppy.
But there's challenge groups on the calendar that, it's just a guide. If you want to run a group with someone else, reach out to them. I've been running some of them on my own and some of them with other coaches. So
getting back to where Beth was going with this, if you're looking at this and you're saying, okay, I'm going to run a challenge group starting on, the 9th. Okay. So you've got the when, you've got the what. Okay. So now it's, okay, how am I going to do that? How am I going to get there? So you're going to look at things and you're going to say, okay, I need to invite however many people a day. And then I need to, so that's new leads, right? So don't pretend you can't do that. You can do that, right? Then you have to look at all the leads that you've had in the past that you've spoken to. So you have essentially 2 funnels that could be of people who could fall into this challenge group. You've got old customers, or not customers, old contacts that you've been talking to that you need to follow up with. And then you've got the other category of people, just new people that you're trying to reach out to, that you're inviting, personally messaging, inviting, talking to in person, inviting. And so just think about, okay, the past, those are all my follow-ups. I got to follow up with people, because truly, not to sound cliche in the sales world, but fortune is in the follow-up. And then you've got the people that you need to talk to or that you haven't talked to. And that can be live, that can be by a Facebook post announcing your challenge group. There's multiple ways to attract new people to your challenge group. But if you pretend that you don't know what to do, or you pretend that you have all these different directions and you can't focus on what you need to do in order to get to where you want to go, then yeah, you're going to struggle, and it's going to be more difficult than it really is. Because when you look at our jobs as coaches, and you look at Beachbody, and you look at the most successful reps and the people who are having success, the only difference in them is that they aren't pretending that they don't know what to do. They know what to do, and they're doing it. Okay, so they're executing on what they want to get done. Okay, so that's something that I constantly have to remind myself. It's not like it just comes natural to us. That's probably, there's a stat out there that, like, you'll have, if 100 people bought a book at, say, an author gave a presentation, a motivational speaker gave a presentation, if 100 people left that seminar having purchased that author's book, 95% of those people would not read past chapter 1. And so it's pretty amazing that, it's the people who are executing and seeing it through to the end who are going to be successful, who are going to have successful challenge groups, who are going to get Success Club 5, Success Club 10, who are going to, just be the ones who we look at and say, man, what are they doing? How are they doing that? They're executing. And that's truly the only difference between, where you are and where you want to be. So I would encourage you guys to really focus down on what you want to accomplish here, and then think about how you can break that down into different categories of action steps, and then do those action steps. And when you really focus and you do break it down like that, it's pretty amazing how easy it is. We came up with that whole thing, for the sneak peek in 5 minutes? And we'd been lollygagging around for 30 minutes prior to that, talking about, what should we do? We could do this, we could do that. And I was like, all right, stop, because we kept going off in different directions.
No, you said, come down to my office. Let's write this on the whiteboard. And I was like, oh no.
Okay.
This is going to be scary.
But within 5 minutes, we had a clear path and clear action items of what we needed to do. And I looked at, we kind of looked at each other and said, wow, that was easy. So that's easy. Now executing it is the challenge. That's where we all are challenged, right? So I'm going to unmute you guys and see if anyone has any questions, comments, thoughts. Give me 1 second here.
Smile, because I'm going to take a picture.
Wait, Moppy's
Oh my
Oh, here she comes.
God.
Oh, there you are.
I look like crap.
It's not that high definition. Don't worry.
All right.
Is it for you? Yeah.
All right, guys. Does anyone have any questions or thoughts?
So the
I do.
November 9th challenge group, is that up for people that, like, say I only had one person, could I just bring them to yours?
Yes.
Okay.
Just message me.
Or you could get 5 more people.
Then I should do my own?
I'm just
Well,
messing
even
with
if
you.
Write it on my
Well,
whiteboard?
Even if you get,
No, let me just say this, okay? I'm just gonna give super props here to Courtney Miller because she told me at the beginning of this month she wanted to run a challenge group on her own. I think it took me like over a year to do that, okay? And she's done it like in less than 3 months. Then then she came and sent me a message. Well, I'm so disappointed. I don't have anybody for my challenge group. We talked about it and we said, keep pushing. And then yesterday, she told me she has 12 people for her first challenge group.
wow.
So, woo, Courtney.
So,
I'm just saying this because I was not like Courtney. I was always saying, oh, I'm only going to get 1 or 2, or I can only get 1 or 2. Beth, can I put them in your group? And I fell in that comfort zone of using Beth's groups or Dan's groups or somebody else's groups. And it's really not until you get out that, you can really accomplish it. So I learned my lesson from Courtney. So thank you, Courtney.
That is awesome, Courtney. I was going to ask, I wondered how it was going. I started as a coach. I started running my own. Just Glenn and I would do them, or I would do them on my own. And it is a great way to develop relationships. And because my business really built for the first whole year, and maybe even, it's still happening. Like 2 of my orders this month were just referrals. I didn't even know these people, but someone that's in one of my current groups said, hey, could I add, every once in a while, don't be afraid to ask your current customers. I'm starting a new group on the 9th. Do you have anyone that would like to be, would like to do what you've been doing? And I think when you run the group by yourself, or when you run the group with only one other coach, it helps them know you a little bit better. We've run some where, and I really want to stay away from this, where we run a group and there's 5 of us in there and we all have 1 or 2 people. I would almost say it's better to wait till the following week and grab a couple, try to get some interest with a couple more. Because when there's so many coaches in there, it's just not as personal. And I don't know, I think, but Crystal, you guys are always welcome. If you need a group for someone, reach out to me. Because you're just getting started. Maybe you don't have any more than 1 right now. And this is a hard time of year, but it's also why you want to establish these relationships. The person you put in the group on the 9th has a great experience. Then you can say, hey, we're kicking off our January, our 2016 group. Any friends that want to join us? You have to remember that all the people that you're contacting now may be your January people, your January Success Club points, your January new customers. So just you got to keep inviting. I know it's so annoying to hear us keep saying that, but
there's nothing really else new to tell you guys. There's no earth-shattering way of doing it.
Some days are just mundane, and you
So
just
I
have
would
to
say,
keep inviting.
Just invite your current challengers, ask them how they're doing. If it's a good excuse to reach out to them and see how their experience has been so far. If they have anyone who they think might be interested in joining your next group. That starts on the 9th or whenever it is.
And
then,
keep in mind, if you have no one, start a free group. Do a, free 7-day. Or last January, I did a 1-month group of anyone that was starting on their fitness goals. So it didn't matter if they were doing a Beachbody program or what I felt like they were on. I just included everyone, and I ran it for a whole 30 days because it was kickoff to a new year. and it was just another way for me to, work with people. And of course, I was posting my, like, Beachbody workouts, so you definitely always get, people do trickle around.
All right. And does anyone else have any questions, comments about this stuff?
I have something different.
Okay. What's your different?
I bought Pio last night off of TV. So I didn't know if that was a big deal or not.
Is,
I told him I was a coach.
did you get a discount?
Nope.
Wait, you bought it for yourself?
Yeah.
Did you know you can go online and buy it?
I wasn't thinking straight and I had all that. I just got so excited because
Well, return it.
Yeah,
Return it.
call and
You
cancel
can't-
the order.
Yeah, I mean, you could have bought it for $44 with your discount.
it was that big old thing. I don't know if you guys have seen it where Shailene's done that big old thing, but I bought it last night. It's supposed to be here next week.
How much was it? Can I ask?
4 payments of $19.95.
No, the payment plan is the worst. I tell everyone, never do the payment plan.
4 payments of
Return it.
$19.95. All right.
You got
It's $139.
what?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Shalene delivers
Yeah,
it
I'm gonna.
herself.
Yeah, does she come and with you or what?
I don't know, but a bunch of stuff with it. But I'm gonna send it back.
Does it come
Yeah.
with all the slides and everything? It must if it.
Yep. And the mat and all that. They're like, "Don't you want the active?" And I'm like, "No, I already have it." I kept telling them, "I'm a coach. I'm a coach. I'm already a coach."
Okay.
Well, don't you want to coach? I'm like, "No, I'm a coach already." It's like she wouldn't listen to me. So I was like, "Wow."
Wild. They probably just, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
you need to return that. You need to go online right now and buy whatever you want. The slides, it will be less because you'll get it for 25% off. Plus,
Right.
that'll be team volume, or that'll be your personal volume.
Mhm.
Buying it off there, and buying it off there.
I'm
So
kidding.
coach, you're gonna have a coach now. Somebody's gonna contact you, and then you'll be like, "Oh, I am a coach."
Yeah.
I declined already. I'm like, "No." She's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure." I'm like, I told her, I said, "I'm already a Beachbody coach. Why won't you listen to me?"
That's-
Like, wow.
Yeah, you gotta go online or just call them. I don't know. You can call.
I've never run into that, but yeah, I would imagine you would just call and cancel and then just order it through your own account.
Never do the payment plan. If any of you guys have a customer that says, "I don't have the money, so I'm just going to go online and do the payment plan," say, "No, stop. Just save your money for the next month and then buy it."
Yeah, because it's so expensive.
Because it's a ripoff, I think.
It is.
But I like to get everything for the best price I possibly can. So,
Well, most people do, right? So,
Rachel, what
What
was
do I do? Just call the number? So I just call the number back and tell them no, because it's already on its way.
yeah, I'd call and cancel.
well, you're probably
Because I can't remember
Yeah.
what.
Okay. So, Rachel, you were talking, or do you want me to talk out loud about that, Rachel?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So Rachel was asking about best ways or what has worked recently for people posting on Facebook, leading people to a challenge group. And I mean, there's so many different ways of doing it.
Yeah, I haven't had much luck lately on when I post. Usually I get most of my people from my Facebook post about a group. And lately I just haven't been getting people. Lately, like my customers this month, 2 have been referrals, but they weren't one was just a 21-day fix, one was a challenge pack. But
you do need to post. I think that's one way of attracting people to a challenge group, right? So again, if you think about different funnels and leading into the challenge, into your challenge or your challenge group, thank you for my own mind starting to work there, you have one way of just throwing a large net out. And I don't know if this will work for you guys, but it kind of works for me. My broadcast, my big net that I throw out if I'm fishing is just trying to catch whatever's out there, right? And just to net however many people I can, or catch as many people's attention as I can with my post on Facebook. Now, if I want to go after a certain person or a certain type of fish, so to speak, then I use a certain bait. I use a special bait. I go at a different depth.
We're all girls.
But
we don't
maybe
care
some
what
people
kind of
like
bait you use.
maybe people like to fish. But you see what I'm saying? I'm not going to go.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but
So
let
you
me
got to
say it
get
a different
specific.
way.
So you can invite people, personally invite people. You can post on Facebook announcing your group. You hit your follow-up list and go fishing on your follow-up list. And then you can also reach out to people personally, messaging them, and in your current challenge groups.
And I would say when you put your picture on Facebook, like, my next group starting whenever, if you can, put a picture of yourself, because I feel like when people, or put a picture that's like really appealing, because when they see it and they like it, like some people don't even read what the challenge group is. Like I put one the other day that just says, what are you thankful for? And on each of the pumpkins there was like, and it was just something I got offline. I didn't make the picture. But people were liking that post, and I could tell some of them were liking it. I still reached out to everyone that liked it, but some of them were just liking it because they liked the picture. But the more people that like it, it's going to stay in your news feed then. And I feel like, Moppy, remember when we did the group?
The mom's group.
Yeah. And like Moppy said, you take a picture of yourself. I'm like, I don't want to take a picture of myself. She's like, you have to take a picture of yourself.
That's for you, Rachel. I don't think I can talk.
What'd you say?
I don't think I can talk over Beth there. She's on a roll, so.
Baby picture. Oh, yeah, baby picture. Yeah.
Get people that will gain people's attention to that post, and whether they're looking at it for.
Or a picture of like you doing a push-up over the baby, or, like a workout picture with the baby in there. Like Courtney's good about like having her little guy in there. And when people see the baby, they're going to like the post.
Evidently Sean T did, right?
That's right.
Sean T.
Yes.
Courtney.
Shanti like Corny's video.
He did?
He did. I posted a video of Easton doing a little dance to sides while I was doing it today, and he liked it.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
We're gonna be BFFs.
Yeah. You're gonna have to buy him a Christmas gift.
All right, I gotta buy Autumn a Christmas gift.
Oh, shut up.
Maybe a bra covers a little more.
Yeah.
Right.
Just
not a
buy her
push-up
big
bra.
sweatshirt.
Right.
You can send her a turtleneck, maybe.
Yeah. Seriously. But yeah, Rachel, make it personal, like so people can relate to it. And so, cause your niche is like other moms that are busy and around, like you feel like you're always with the kids. You don't take a lot of time for yourself. So that's the people you want to reach out to, because that's the people that it'd be awesome to interact with in your group. I don't know, that's probably not specific enough, but I would just, even one of your workout pictures, like I've started for this round of the 21 Day Fix Extreme, I'm posting my workout pics in my groups, but also on my personal page. And I mean, I am not comfortable doing that, but I'm like, just get past the fear. Who cares what people think? And post it, and it's funny. I mean, I'm trying to like ask a question, and I would say the more you can post and ask a little question at the top or give like some kind of call to action, the better it is, because you want to encourage people to comment. But if you can put something on there about, just your journey right now as a new mom again. And I mean, yeah, I think, Courtney, you've had a lot of feedback when you do posts like that, haven't you?
Yeah, I was actually gonna share this one. I did this one. You can't really see it.
That's like
But-
holding a flashlight
Well,
up
is
to a
it on your
camera.
page?
You can't see this? No, it's
Is it on your Facebook page?
yeah, but all I said was in the last 21 day fix group that I did, what are you going to my Facebook page?
Yeah.
Stop you.
If I'm your friend.
Okay, it was posted on October 25th.
Okay, go down.
All right.
Farther.
Oh, where's Ashanti?
Oh no, I posted it to Sean T's page and he liked it.
Okay.
Okay, awesome.
I didn't see that one.
All right, tell me when.
Keep going, keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going. See, I'm posting a lot.
Yeah.
That one.
Oh,
Go back up.
right there?
Yeah.
What I get as a thank you? You passed it, Glenn.
Oh,
No. The 21 day fix
Oh,
picture
yeah.
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one got me 6 Success Club points.
Sweet. I'm using it today.
count
Yeah,
calories,
me
not
too.
calories.
But I think it had to do with what, the text I told people in my last group. The average woman lost 10 pounds in 3 weeks. Now, I only had 2 people who actually did exactly what they were supposed to do, so I used their stats. But,
That's like saying, you know what? I just wrote a top-selling book.
kind of.
It's the top-selling book in this household because no one else is that. People don't need to know where it was a top-selling. It's a top-selling book on this street.
Yeah.
Right.
That's awesome.
So
But that really did it. Well, and we're only doing, I'm only doing 3 weeks. I'm not doing a whole month. So it's get it done right before Thanksgiving and then we're done.
And
So
I think that's a great focus. I'm doing the same thing. That's a great focus right now, just the 3 weeks. And then those people are going to get in. And if they love autumn, then they'll be a great transfer over to hammer and chisel too.
right.
yeah.
Put
Awesome.
that on your whiteboard.
Put that on my whiteboard. All right, I'm gonna
Well,
stop the
and I think,
recording.
is this bad or not? But are we still